Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, SPCS Series 3 Advanced Division. I'm Mr. Leapfrog. Along with me today is Glitcher. How's it going, Glitcher?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm chilling. We got a good match going. We got Billings Boomers and Dapper Dynasty. They're both 1-0 to start the Swiss stage, so I'm excited to see how they perform going into today's match. You can take a look at the rosters right now and see how the lineups are stacked up. Multiple tanks from Dapper Dynasty, and of course with Billings, you got just the lonely one and a million supports.
Yeah, I think having that flexibility with a lot of subs is always a good thing, right? You have certain maps where they're stronger than others. Our first map will be Busan this week for all our matches this week. It's Busan. I will say this map is pretty heavy on the double flex DPS. I'm curious to see what comps will probably roll out on. I know that in my match yesterday, we rolled out on Winston double flex DPS, but I've been seeing a lot of Ball lately, a lot of Winston. I think both of those will work. I'm curious to see what the bans will be for this map too. Obviously, Wu Yang's very strong right now. A lot of the supports are strong, so we'll see what happens here. But yeah, and pull up the regular season for this year, or especially season 3. We got Busan again this week, and then next week's Leos. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm honestly excited. You know, I think Busan is, again, like you said, very flexible in terms of compositions that you can build around it. And we'll just go down the order of the map selections with Escort, Flashpoint, Hybrid, and Push. So honestly, when it comes to, the variety, I think it's going to be nice and different. There's going to be a lot of teams running different comps. Yeah, it's kind of nice when you have that flexible tank option at your disposal, just in case if they want to ban, like, oh man, he's a ball one trick, I can just ban ball. No, yeah. You have other tanks in your repertoire, just in case if you need to pick anything on the side.
Yeah, and again, going back to the flexibility is going to play a huge part in this map, right? But the first map's kind of fixed by the control map, but then after that, when your team loses, you can go to any map. If you got steamrolled on a ball comp, and maybe you feel like your tank might be better at poke, then you can go to a poke map next, get them off the ball. And it does look like they're going to have a Wu Yang ban first coming in, which I just love the Wu Yang ban because Wu Yang's very, very strong right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, it's crazy to me, and there goes the hazard immediately followed suit by Billings Boomers. But it's one of those things, like, I mean, playing ranked, you don't see a whole lot of Wu Yang, but in terms of, like, the competitive play, you start to see it a lot more often. I think Wu Yang is one of those characters that it's kind of, like, on the back burner of, like, almost S tier, just, like, really, really strong, but not as strong as, like, the staple picks like Juno or Kiriko and such.
Yeah, Lucio, and like I said, I think with Wu Yang too, his skill ceiling is just so high with that ball, being able to control that and just poke from a distance, and actually be able to live too. I think the one thing that makes the really good Wu Yang players out there are the ones that can survive the dive. If you ever watch like the really good ones, they'll play way far back and just throw out that poke, and then whenever they get dove on, they use that dash to get away and then knock back, and then they just somehow live, and you can't kill them, and then you're dead because they just do so much damage. So it's like, it's tough.
Yeah, I've definitely watched a couple rack attack streams here and there, so I do know a good Wu Yang when I see one. So it's definitely, you definitely made the right call. I think past map 1, it's going to be a Wu Yang blowout, and just whose Wu Yang will be able to survive the initial encounters the longest, just so that way they can kind of sustain and have a lot of damage output. Because I mean, with his tracking capabilities, the sky's the limit when it comes to the characters. So that's what I really enjoy about Wu Yang to start, is that the skill ceiling with it practically uncapped.
Yeah, and with the hazard ban, I imagine it's probably be ball mirror. Now if they're outside, if they're mecha base, it could be more like of a brawl centric comp. But I imagine backlines will probably be Lucio Curie. And then, like I said, if it's not mecha base, so it's Sanctuary or the other map, I forget the name, the outside one, it's probably going to be ball, and then probably Sombra and Tracer or Genji Tracer, or even Monkey with Genji Tracer. I imagine that's probably going to be the comps we're going to see in this map.
I hope so, because it's one of those things, they're exciting to watch.
Yeah, I love dive comps.
A lot of action, a lot of moves, and a lot of picks. It's one of those things, it's a very volatile comp, very high risk, high reward. You can kind of just full commit to team fights and just expect either a lot of picks or, you crash and burn. But alas, there's no risk without reward.
And I said, and what really it's going to come down to is what backlines live the most. And in these dive comps, it's just trying to eliminate either the Curie, or if they're on a Sojourn. But like the targets, Lucio is very hard to kill, very slippery. Even Curie, she has a dash, she has a cold wall climb, she has Suzu. She's just very hard to kill. As a tank player, it's very frustrating trying to dive a Kiriko. It's not fun. And then obviously the DPS line, if it is double flex, you're looking at probably Genji Tracer, who also very slippery, or Samba Tracer, who's still very slippery. It's like it really just comes down to what support lines can live the longest in these fights.
And it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, no Hazard. I'm a big Hazard player myself, so it's one of those things I know for a fact that Hazard can be annoying, especially towards backline survivability and just overall healthiness of the team. Because despite not even getting those picks and stuff, it's going to be crucial for both teams just to kind of bait out as many resources in util as possible. Suzu and Immortality is on a very limited cooldown. Even simple ones from Lucio like Amp It Up are just super crucial when it comes to those survivability in fights. So if the tank can kind of force it out kind of early on, we'll have to see who's going to be able to dictate the pacing of the fights.
Yeah, and a lot of it too is just that mid fight. Once both dives go in, again, it's like how you said, like the resources become so valuable. Suzu, Amp It Up, whatever it may be, keeping your team alive, and it's one of those to go down. It's like it becomes a lot harder to win that fight. And so again, and I will say, going back to the Hazard thing too, Hazard plays a very similar role, I think, to Monkey and Ball, where you kind of get in and try to assassinate them right away. And so I like the ban from them, and like I said, it should be very fascinating to see.
Right. Looks like we're just getting ready to get into it. There we go. And we are so back. But again, this is round 2, so kind of important to try to start off and get the early lead here in the set, in this series. You're up 1-0. You want to make it a 2-0. You don't want to fall 1-1. So it's going to be super important for both teams to kind of establish dominance early on in these fights and maintain that pressure.
I just read the chat. That was like a little boo-boo on things I just can't get over now. That's funny. Staple of Busan right here.
Right.
I do like the
D.Va
pick.
Maps, man.
Yeah, Busan's a great map. It's very, mecha bases can be played basically however you want. These outside maps, there's so many long angles you can take, and just so many different comps you can run. Makes it a lot of fun. Looks like we're gonna see D.Va. I haven't seen very much D.Va lately, which is good. See a new character being played.
I like it. Toasty Toast starting off with the D.Va here, and the staple Tracer Sombra comp. It's going to be really annoying to deal with as a ball player because everybody's so squishy, but at the same time, everybody's so elusive. So we're going to have to see how it starts off here. Map number 1, Busan. And right now, super early on into the fight, you can see Ball kind of establishing like whose targets we're going to focus in. And Star Platinum getting that early pick to start off the fight. Ball's gonna follow suit, but on the other side of the coin, and now the fight's even about 4-4. And it looks like the early point presence is gonna go over to Dapper, but Billings immediately recognized that, shift their entire team's positioning over to the point, and nice little cleanup right there from Reborn. It looks like that Dapper is gonna be able to stabilize and potentially take this point here now that Ball's back into the fight.
Oh, the D-Max is gonna be huge here. It's a big stagger.
Ooh, actually, that's not bad. If I'm BD right now, I am totally fine with this. We got the point. That point was lost to begin with. D.Va was so low. We used up all of our util and all our resources, and 9%, that's better than nothing. And you can see them typing in the chat right now. They're just like, Ball, yikes.
Yeah, Ball is very, very impressive right now, and as I think you play most games right now, a lot of dive comps are all Ball-centric, and they're just so fast. He's such a hard character to kill. We go back to that slippery, as I talked about earlier with the backline. Ball's the same way. The adaptive shield, with the grapple, he's hard to kill. And if you don't bring a Sombra, it makes it that much harder. And they are running Sombra now, which I do like that pick. I think it definitely helps, especially with the D.Va. But just means kind of Genji kind of gets free reign to do whatever he wants in the map if you're marking the ball and the health pack. So kind of got to pick their battles here. But I will say I do like both comps, and so far, it's pretty even. Like I said, it was good that Billings kind of got that flip early on because they got that early pick on them. And they're down in stars, and then just kind of getting that flip to stop Dapper from getting any free progress was actually huge. So
yeah, so let's hope that we can maintain that that mindset of just trying to control the offense, trying to dictate pacing throughout the entire set. You see we're doing a brief pause right now, and once we get back into it, we're going to have Dapper in control of the point. Billings, I think we're just short of 10%. I think they're at 9%. So again, they're not too displeased with that, because I mean, honestly, as low as Diva went and losing your Kiriko during that fight, you pretty much lose all forms of sustain. I mean, even if you have a Kiriko there, it's going to be super difficult as a tank player to survive getting attacked from multiple angles. They've got the Tracer, they've got the Genji, and having that, that blast, that quick burst potential damage just really makes a big difference in terms of progress.
Yeah, I was a little surprised in that first fight watching it because Billings actually got the hack on the Mega Pack there, so they had full control of the Mega Room, and then they kind of just gave it up and then walked at them. I almost wonder, why they just didn't stay in there and fight around the Mega Pack, and then once the point spawned, then you can kind of walk off it. But when they got picked off the Mega, I thought that was weird, because once you control that Mega Pack on that left side, you basically control that whole side of the map, and then the points still hadn't even spawned yet, so there was still time to kind of set up your dive or go for a pick, because that Lucio got hacked mid-wall run, and they didn't clean up on that kill. But it's just because Summer got picked in the middle of that fight, which was unfortunate. But
I can definitely tell you're an actual player, because there's some people I like to commentate with, and they're kind of like, I'm a bronze player. I kind of dab on it, but no, you notice little things like that. Those are super crucial in those fights, because it forces Lucios to kind of panic and try to rush back. I play a little Lucio on the side, and that's the bane of my existence. The moment I get hacked, I'm just scrambling. I'm like, oh no, I'm about to plummet from the skies and potentially get dove on. So those little things are going to be super impactful in the fights. Where if they can find those hacks onto crucial targets like Lucio or even Kiriko early on, could sway the fight either way.
yeah, Summer's just really, again, I'm a tank player, so it's a very annoying character to deal with, especially when you are the ball in that case and you're trying to fight for that Mega Pack and then it just gets hacked and it's just you don't have it anymore. That's when you're playing ball, right? You're basically trying to control all the packs. That's how you get your healing and your sustain after your shield's down. And when you don't have those cooldowns anymore and you're looking for a pack and they're all hacked, it's very, very frustrating as a ball player. Or when you're just trying to slam and you can't because you get hacked. So it's it's very, 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 very frustrating going against that. But that's why I think Summer pick's so strong right now, and I think a lot of teams are adapting and they're kind of going off this Genji and going more towards Sombra, or even I've seen a lot of Reapers lately too. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in this match we see Reaper pick. Would not be surprised one bit. Also a very annoying character to deal with if you're a tank player, but I digress.
I'll say you're in tank jail now, so I know all the annoying characters. What did they say? They said, we're going to take a short break, and when we get back into it, we're going to finish up the rest of map number 1, so stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are so back for real this time. Billings Boomers, Dapper Dynasty, both teams 1-1. We were in the middle of map number 1, which was Busan. So let's, I think if we're ready, we can take it right back in immediately.
Yep. Dapper Dynasty should be in control of the point. Remember, right? The Boomers just gave it up.
Something like
Is
that.
there
Yeah.
resetting? Yeah.
Well, we shall see in just a moment. And yeah, you're right. Dapper in control. Billings got a little bit of percentile. Not too disappointed again, but a ton of ultimates here coming up on both sides of the coin. We got full spawn coming up for Dapper. We got Diva Bomb, so we have a potential remake opportunity. But man, Tracer falling super early on the side of Billings. Ugh, is definitely what their team is saying right now, because now that's back to the spawn room, another reset here. It's going to be super important if they can try to get another stagger here, even on Toasty. If they can get DMAC Toasty right here, that'd be so big, because they can't go into spawn and swap off Diva and swap back, because then you lose your ultimate.
Yeah. So we know Dapper's just playing so much faster right now than Billings. Billings has just got to go. They're going to play this out. Oh, okay. They're off Sombra now, but...
Uh-oh, Kitsune Rush, caught Star Platinum in the air. What a good call right there from Silvertails. And it looks like that minefield is just going to be booped into the corner, so not going to get as much usage as he'd like to see, but he's going to try to be annoying, be a nuisance, and kind of boop him back into it, but it does not matter because Billings was able to help clean the rest of that point up and, of course, flip it back over into their favor. 60% for Dapper. Not a big commitment. They did use the minefield, so obviously that's going to be something they're going to wish they had back in their resources, but
yeah, I mean, good fight for Boomers. They only use Kitsune there, so they're going to beat. They're going to have back still. They're going to have pulse bomb. Should be a good fight.
Yeah, imagine the beat is just going to be saved, exclusively for this incoming blade. Uh-oh, and Alizu just getting dangerously low, barely able to survive right there. By the skin of their teeth, immediately blinking back to their team. Gonna get a nice healthy chunk of full charge for Pichu. Should be able to come into the fight with the Kitsune Rush as well. Be on deck, Dapperman spending it right away here. Blade as well. Got one, looking for more. Oh, Kitsune Rush used as well. This is a costly fight. They need to make sure they win this here, relatively quickly. And it looks like they are gonna stabilize and help close up the rest of that fight.
I'm out.
Diva Bomb, no connection, but it does help him get back to full HP. Silvertails is going to fall as well. Looks like they're going to be able to help close out the rest of this fight here, and it's just a matter of staggering onto the point. Die on point, I tell you. Die on point.
Yeah, so, I mean,
80%.
No, Boomers do a good job at staring out that point and making it go longer. I almost wish, though, Toasty would have just saved his ult. The fight was already kind of lost. So now they only have Blade coming up, but it will actually have Kitsune, too. So Kitsune and Blade versus bombs or mines here, so...
Yeah, and as well as things, I think the mines are, it's going to be one of those things that just to help sustain and stagger on point as best it can.
That's a big first pick right there.
Oh no, it might be go time for Cam right now. Minefield gonna come out super early on here. Silver in a dreadful position, not able to try to get that Kitsune Rush off in time, but still gonna commit to using it here because, this is the last fight here. They need to try to win this here. 99% practically for Dapper. They lose that little bit. Oh no, and they flip it actually kind of early on, and now they're just gonna come sprinting back to their spawn because now 87% and counting.
Like a gentle rain.
Oh, Lucy was dead.
Oh no, I don't know if they're gonna have anybody to touch here. Glitchy, it looks like Tracer's gonna have to be the one to touch.
Yeah, it's gotta be Tracer.
Ball's gonna do it, maybe. Oh man, that was dangerously close. Yeah. Lucio falling a little low. Toasty getting really low themselves, working on Diva Bomb, but who knows? May not be able to find it in time. Okay, and they do, so they have a moment of respite, and it looks like they're not going to even need it here. 100-97 is the scoreline for this first round here in the barn burner right now between Billings Boomers and Dapper Dynasty. BB versus DD. Let's go.
Yeah, and that last fight was, Boomers just did everything right in those last two fights. They Kitsune on point. They did just about everything they could, and those picks on the Platinum were massive. 5 and 5 before when you're down in ult economy is like absolutely how you balance out the fight, and basically made Platinum's play when he came back kind of useless, and they just beat it, and then it was very, very hard. So good comeback there by Boomers. You know, can we have some swaps here maybe? This is a comp that I've been seeing a lot. I hope this is not a Zarya Reaper comp because this has been terrifying my ranked queues lately. It is gonna be Zarya. Oh,
it's kind of weird because I mean we saw Toasty was the one on even, and normally you'd expect it on the other side of the coin, but actually Dapper is gonna stick it out with the comp. I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty close fight, all things considered. And you see Alizu just being super aggressive right off the rip. I mean, might as well. There's no risk without reward, right?
This comp has been devastating the ranked queues. You just put the bubble on the Reaper, and then he just does so much damage.
How can he kill him? Because, I mean, you pop the bubble and look what he's got. He's got Fade immediately right afterwards as well. And the big damage output from Cam. I wish I could see more Genji, but I'll take some Reaper guy.
Yep, I've seen this comp too much lately, and I'm over it. I'm over it. Reaper with the bubble is not fun.
Oh,
yeah, that's just what he does.
Got a little aggressive. Got a little greedy. He was looking for the pick onto Cam right there. That would have helped out a ton, but alas, I think even if he got that pick there, still would have wound up falling. Dapper or Pufo was ready in the wind.
Yeah, I said it earlier. I was wondering if we were going to see Reaper, and it looks like it took all about one map for the Reaper to start showing up.
It wasn't even a full map. It was like half of a map, and then it immediately got pulled out. So teleport in for Star Platinum. Oh, they're going to try to isolate the Diva here, the Zarya here. It's going to be important because he's only got one bubble left. He's trying desperately to get back to the team. 200 HP, and it looks like they're going to keep chasing him down. Suzu just barely keeping him alive. Able to sustain for just a moment, but it does not matter because when you lose your Reaper, your core piece of damage. Zarya's almost at full charge here, so still an opportunity to help turn this around, but they're kind of hiding right now with their tail between their legs. And right now the fights are even. I mean, back and forth, picks after picks on both sides of the teams.
Zarya running over there too.
Full charge Zarya, no longer gonna be able to survive. Cam also gonna fall quickly as he came in. And 60% for Boomers, not too shabby, but Dapper now has control of the point and a ton of ultimates to work with here.
Yeah, and these mines are probably going to be used to cut off or Kitsune when they walk up this ramp right here. We'll see. But they have to be careful because Boomers hits all their ults coming up. You don't really want Kitsune into a Reaper.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have Kitsune, we have Reaper, we have Zarya grab, we've got them all. Pick one and you got it. Because now we got 5 ultimates locked and loaded. We obviously just used Kitsune Rush. I can imagine Grab's going to be coming out shortly thereafter, and there it is, caught on the Tracer, but the beat is just in time to keep them alive. And unfortunately, Cam already used the Reaper Blossom in the middle of that fight as well, so basically countering 2 ults with the one beat. Definitely going to be paying off in their favor, but looks like they're still able to help turn that point around and flip it just at 45, maybe 50%.
They're just touching her. Yeah, I mean, basically even game now. Dapper will have the ult economy. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, post bomb, they got Reaper ult, so it's pretty even right now, but definitely a good fight for Boomers there.
In the wind, he's looking for an early pulse bomb here to kind of get that very first pick off on the fight. Reborn just being super aggressive right there, trying to chase him down, forcing him back. And you see a bubble being used, so now it's go time. Oh boy, Reborn getting the first pick here, and they actually mistakenly get off the point and they flip it. Oh, big positioning error right there from Billings Boomers. As, I mean, they sure get a couple picks here and there. Maybe they can actually flip it back around. That'd be crazy if they do. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they will because they have a full HP, a very healthy Wrecking Ball sitting on point as well. But, man, they're definitely going to want that last bit of percentage back. That was a big mistake.
Reaper can't shut down those balls. He's got to be careful. Oh, they're all back. Oh, they have the flip anyways, so.
And playing aggressive, working. I'm surprised he's not just trying to focus the tank down and just like build up his ult as quickly as he can. He's just really just trying to chunk down anybody that gets in his face. And Dapperman is unfortunately one of those players getting too close for comfort, immediately gonna get ulted right there. And now Pichu just running for the hills. Reborn gets a pulse bomb just to help tie it up, and I think the second Kitsune is gonna fall, and they do, chasing him down, and now it's just a Tracer against an army. 1 versus a million. Who will win? Of course it's the million, because it's just so easy. Team kill for Billings Boomers, and they are gonna take map number 1, 2-0 in Busan. Very, very close, Glitchy.
And actually, Dapper read that ult perfectly. I mean, he predicted the Blossom right there and booped him away. Unfortunately, he was kind of caught in that wall, and like it ended up killing him, but like I mean, he picked it on. He was moving off the map. It would have been the whole map right there, probably. He's very, very close.
Whoops.
Yeah, there goes Koopa. Unlucky. No, unlucky.
Oh man. And you said you wanted it, Gilker. You told me you wanted a very strong game here tonight, and I think you're gonna get it because right now the teams are neck and neck. It seems like they're very evenly matched here.
Yeah, and both those maps, I mean, they were both pretty close. I mean, the first one was 97, 100, I think, and that was 180. So, I mean, very close maps. And really, that just comes down to 1 or 2 fights in those kind of situations. So, again, I mean, like I said, Dapper, I'm telling you, if that boop knocks him off the map, that's probably that map right there. Probably look at map 3 right there. So, unfortunate,
Yeah, I mean, that's what's crazy to think about is how close that was. Because if he did get that one little boop just further enough to get that environmental on the Reaper and survive in that fight, I mean, who knows what would have happened. So
yep.
if it's all going to come down to one ability usage dictating how fights will turn out, I'm excited to see the rest of the series here today.
Agreed.
But map number 2, I think we're going over to Escort again, if I remember correctly, right?
I mean, I'm not seeing it. Maybe. Actually, so they can pick the map and mode, so losers can decide if they want to.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So they can pick map or mode, or if they want, they can give up the map pick. The losing team, they have the first ban. So either way, but yeah, basically any escort, they go escort, flashpoint, hybrid, yeah, push. So it's really a unique setting how they do it in SPCS, and I think it's kind of cool. Give the losing team the choice if they want to ban or if they want to pick the map.
Yeah, for people who don't know, I actually mainly commentate Tekken, and if you guys didn't know, Tekken players can't read. So like half the screen is basically nonsense to me. I just see the maps and I see like, New Junk City, Surfasa, Circuit Royale, Blizzard World. Those things make sense to me. Don't ask me what those little letters are underneath them though. There it is, Circuit Royale. Let's go.
All right, so I'm hoping here. This is what I'm hoping. This is what happened. I'm hoping I see a Zarya ban this map because I've seen Zaryas on offense in this map just absolutely run this map with that same Zarya Reaper comp, and it's just so unfair to the defending team when you try playing like Sigma.
But that's the thing. If you think the Zarya Reaper comp is so dominant, wouldn't you say that some of the teams would probably want to or opt to ban Reaper and save that tank ban for something else?
Yeah, so I think the philosophy there, either way, I mean, you could probably go with either ban. I just think the Reaper without the Zarya bubble is not nearly as impressive. I mean, D.Va kind of does the same thing with DM, but I think just the bubble. I mean, once you have Blossom and you just teleport in, you get the bubble. You just can't really counter that. And especially like if Wu Yang's gonna be played in this map, which I could see happening as well. I mean, you don't have to use. You can save the Zarya bubble and just rock the Wu Yang ult on the Reaper when he TP's in, and same idea, right? And it's just like we'll see. I could see them banning the Reaper instead. Because again, like defense, Reaper is a lot different on this map, right? Like it's hard to hold on defense with the Reaper because you're kind of playing around corners. So there will be a Sigma ban first from Billings Boomers. So I mean, I wonder what they're gonna play on defense. They might just match the Zarya then, maybe, unless Dapper.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's tough to say.
The Sigma ban on circuit, that's like the staple, right? On defense, you think Sigma on circuit, but I mean, unless they're gonna go like D.Va or maybe Ramacha. I haven't been seeing Ramacha as much lately, but interesting to see what they'll do right here. I mean, I guess you could force maybe Ball or Orisa on this, but I don't know. I feel like on defense, Sigma is just like kind of the staple, right? Or I guess D.Va is the same thing.
If you think realistically, if you think of Circuit Royale, the first tank that comes to like everybody's minds, I mean, even from competitive Overwatch back in Overwatch League when that was still a thing, even until today to the Overwatch Championship Series, it's always been Sigma. So to ban that one, it just tells me that Billings has a plan going into this. They obviously took that first map, so they're in a very comfortable position right now. So they're like, you know what? We're just going to keep banning the tank. We'll dictate the pace. We'll dictate the composition choices on the opposite on the opposing team. So hey, if they're totally comfortable, if you want to keep banning, if you keep on to run that wrecking ball, we've already showed that we know how to deal. We've already taken map number 1 with you on that wrecking ball, but we'll have to see what Dapper wants to retaliate with.
Yeah, I mean, Dapper can't ban Wu Yang here, so I imagine maybe Zenyatta banned. Interesting. So it's gonna be probably Wu Yang Anna or Wu Yang Bap here, I imagine. I think teams that don't pick Wu Yang when it's available is just straight troll. my humble opinion right there. I think character's just too good not to be picked right now, especially on a map like this where it's so poke heavy and there's so many long angles where you can literally just sit in your spawn and force a ball all the way across the whole map. But that's my soliloquy right there. But anyhow, here's through the comps they roll on here. Should be interesting.
Oh man, I love it, man. You're killing me tonight. It's great because
Yes.
honestly, that's the facts. Because I mean, you speaking it through the a tank's eyes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because you play the game at the high level, you know exactly what to look for. You know what compositions you play against and what compositions you fear and dread. So it's one of those things you always got to keep that in the back of your mind when you're making these ban
Yeah.
selections.
Shout out to Bubba if he's listening to this, my main sport. If he doesn't play Wu Yang, I just kind of yell at him and say, why aren't you playing Wu Yang? Like, come on, man. You're strolling at that point. I'm just kidding. But anyhow, the kids see, I imagine it'll probably be Wu Yang with either Ana or Baptiste or maybe even Kiriko. Maybe. I think Ana Wu Yang is like the best combo right now because with the nano and the bubble, it's just so OP. Basically, two
It's
forms of
basically yeah. I'm
survival
gonna
and
say that's
engage.
basically double nano at that point.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, if you just go Tracer, you can't stop it. Unfortunately, if they put the bubble on them, you just die. Or if they go
You
Genji,
just
you just
cower
die.
in fear. Yep, just cower in
Yeah,
fear in the corner and just try
yep,
not to get blown up.
yep. And there's nothing more terrifying than when you see a Tracer blink on your backline with the bubble. It's not fun. But
All right,
if
let's
we
take a
see
look here.
if we see Roadhog here, I might lose my mind.
Oh,
That would be insane.
we were so close to greatness.
So close.
Stripped away. I wanted to see the ducky get a little bit closer, but alas, we'll have to settle for long distance relationship there. Oh, maybe not. We are back. Let's go.
We are back.
Look at that, glowed up. Got your glow up, son.
I think Dapper's on offense first, so I think this can't actually be their comp. But if they go old school Roadhog is back, those of you who don't know, he has his right click again where he has the long range shot. He is old school. Yeah, okay, so the Zarya pick. Yeah, this makes sense. Zarya Venture, basically the same thing as Zarya Reaper. So again, I would just ban the Zarya, but we'll see. Hopefully Boomers have something for this.
Hey,
You see a Widowmaker, so...
I'm going to say you don't want to do it too early, so I mean, Bakery coming in here for Billings on the tank, Toasty going over to the DPS, but map number 2, going to Circuit Royale, Dapper Dynasty trying to equalize the score right now. They can do it here, being on attack, unless Ugg wants to keep getting headshots like that. Reborn back to the spawn room we go. You see the Hazard just being a nuisance, being annoying, just sitting on the point, never able to make that progress. And when you're dealing with double snipers, you can't really make any progress until you either eliminate one of those snipers or get the payload to a position where you can't be seen.
Actually, now the more I think about this, I love this comp by Boomers because Zarya's trying to build that ult charge, and Hanzo and Widow really don't build the bubble charge for Zarya, so she really shouldn't have much charge most of these fights. So the more I think, I actually love this comp by Boomers. Besides the Hazard pick, I don't really care for that pick, but I think the DPS shouldn't be feeding that much bubble charge to Zarya. So
yeah, trigger discipline is going to be super important for this fight, obviously, with the levels and stuff. It's kind of sought after to try to get as much charge as you can as a Zarya player, but at the same time, when you're playing against snipers and stuff, you have the ability to kind of not pull that trigger and kind of sit back and be a little bit more patient and conscientious with your decision making. You see right there, Dapper immediately getting headshot right there. Dapper forced to cower in fear. I don't think they have any bubbles left of that fight, so... And you see Starfire just trying their best to kind of contest this point as best they can because Bakery is the only one that can really sit on the point. The rest of their team has to kind of sit back in that safe distance. Wu Yang time going in, but just when I say that Kitsune Rush also retaliated from Cam just to help clear the point. Looking for one, and it's going to call down the downpour and going to get two. A huge ult right there from Bakery, getting 2 sustained right there, and you cannot teleport when you are anchored in like that, and because of that good call out on the ultimate, they win the fight, and they sustain. They live another day. 1 minute, 40 seconds left on the clock here.
yeah, Bakery's actually being so patient with these jumps. With Hazard, you know, I suppose you want to just jump in and kind of int. He's being so patient, saving his dive for the right time, just building all the charge. And I love that about that. It's a very hard pick to be very patient on. He's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, not overextending either. I think that's going to be super great of an aspect to have. You got to be patient, and it looks like they got the pick, and they just immediately retreat. Uh-oh, and Nano coming out from Bakery, looking for a little bit more, but I think he just doesn't want to overstay as well. He just immediately jumps back. Not a big deal. You know, Nano is a crucial, not too impactful in terms of like it's a do or die situation, but they still have a minute left on the clock. A ton of ultimates here for DD.
It's a great save by Silvertails there.
Probably going to use the Blade and the Kitsune Rush here. They've got Grab just in case if they really want to try to enter and guarantee this fight win. Just dashing for the hill, but just Toasty's toast! Sniping them out of the sky! Saving them, but saving them not for too much longer. Star Platinum uses Tectonic Shock to help clean up both of the DPS, but Toasty Toast barely surviving right there. And they looks like they're going to be able to help win the rest of this fight here. Dapper just putting on the show right now. Full charge. Wu Yang trying to close it out, but alas, Toasty Toast again just being annoying in the backline, being one of the new one of the buff characters this season. Uh-oh, another downfall. Downpour coming in right here. Is it too late? 0.37 meters separates them from capping the point, and they are able to sneak it in. Ooh, nice shot.
Yeah, very good shot. Very hard show. Nice.
Whoops. Change camera, quick.
Change camera. I will say, Toasty's hitting some crazy shots in this Hanzo right now. To go from Tang to Hanzo is a pretty big swipe, so.
It's not like he's playing anything active. He's playing Diva of all characters.
Yeah.
To go to something like that, a projectile character, it's just a testament to his skill. Oh. Dang, you try to jump way too early there.
Yeah.
In for a sight is enough to be able to spot you out of the sky and looking for more. Oh, Wu Yang, dangerously low right there. Gotta be careful. Oh boy, this Graviton Surge coming out here.
I just killed this team.
Wow. Unfortunate. You think Dapper swaps off Azari here?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah, it looks like the entire team comp is changing here. We got Lucio for Dapper and
so
Dapper
hard.
Man and the Dapper Grin going
on the horse. Yeah, it's just so much. I mean, one headshot from Widow puts Zarya at like 40% health, and then you have to back up and waste bubble on yourself. You don't want to do that, so I like this pick by the Orisa. You can just fortify and walk. Also, just literally got most of the ults here too, so that's also big for Zarya.
I'm surprised I'm not seeing a Diva either. I think Diva's a great option as well to help mitigate some of the util from Billings winners, but either way, I think it's essentially just coming down to like I need to make space on this point. I need to try to get this video progress. Because now we're down to under a minute left, and all we've done is watch Bakery just sit on the point like a turtle, shelling up on the point. You see Bakery about to get that downpour again. Nano as well. Oh boy, and they catch Dapper Man out of position. Man, he was in the air and he still got ripped out of the sky. He saw the Widowmaker gets the one pick, and that's the only pick you shall receive because the rest of it's going to be dealing with my spikes.
Oh, I gotta get fortify.
He just kept getting bounced up on it like a bouncing ball, and you see Reborn gets the early pick here. He's got Infrasight. It's active right now, so a lot of the squishies are going to be hiding here. Let's see the hook shot. Oh, body shot! Bandit not able to find it onto Toasty Toast. He got really lucky right there, because honestly, if he got another pick there, that would have been +2 on that fight super early on. And he looks like he's still going to make it +2. Reborn starting off hot. Kind of heating up a little bit. Bakery getting a little too overzealous there, jumping in, trying to get rid of the Widowmaker. Trying to swat at the Fly, and the Fly is swatting back. Pulse Bomb sticking onto Silvertails, accidentally Pulse Bombs himself. Hopefully it won't come back to bite him. No support now on the side of Billings.
Bakery got 2.
Oh,
I get
no.
3.
They have to go touch. Bakery! He's looking for more! He wants more! If you don't like it, there's the door, baby. Shutting it down. I thought they were going to win that for sure, but I think a costly mistake from Star. He got the Pulse Bomb there, but now
I think he got
damage.
slept. I think he stuck the Ana. I think he got slept, and Ana walked onto him and blew them both up. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that's what just happened right there. I'm pretty sure that when he stuck that Pulse Bomb, he got slept at the same time, and Ana walked onto him and blew up. Otherwise, I don't know how.
Right?
I don't know how else he could have died. Like, he could blink away, he could reset. He can hit E. I mean, there's no way he just blinked into a like. I'm telling you, I think he got slept by the on.
Okay.
Just walked over to him when she got
I'll
stuck,
give the benefit of the doubt.
which is crazy play. It actually happened. But I think that's
they
what
literally
happened.
saved their team because if they had
That was
the Tracer
huge.
there,
Yeah,
they
win
would
that fight.
yeah, that Tracer would have been able to help clean up the rest of the Widowmaker. It would allow Dapper to go back to the point and kind of focus on the star of the show, which was Bakery being annoying on the hazard. We saw the ban previously from that, but obviously with that being your early ban, map 1, you don't have that option anymore for the remainder of the series. But again, it's all going to come down to decision making in these crucial moments.
Yeah, and one thing I will say, you brought up at the first spot, but Bakery is just controlling this point. Like, he is just sitting on his cart, or at least on defense he was, and they just were not poking him or doing anything to get him off this cart, and he just basically ran that round. So I like to see Dapper this time kind of put some more pressure on to Bakery. Now I'm just kind of sit there and hold down right click, hold the block.
It's still winnable. It's not over.
Absolutely.
It's definitely not a losing situation, but it's definitely something they need to be aware of. I mean, they only got about just shy of second point there. You can definitely still full hold, especially with this team comp. You see Star actually going over to the May. So I think they just wanted to kind of do the similar strategy of kind of putting somebody to anchor on point and kind of just be a nuisance and never dying, forever living on the point. Ooh, Dapperman getting dangerously low right there. Almost getting his head taken clean off right there. And it's going to be a battle of the Widows because I think an early pick on either side for the Widowmaker is going to be very important in these fights. And look how much space they're giving up. I mean, Billings don't mind this at all because, I mean, they're getting a ton of payload progress and nobody's dying on either side. Just when I say that, Jinx.
Yeah, big very important. It should. Oh, maybe they won't stabilize.
There's no way they win this, right? There's no way. They were down something super early on, but I mean,
Power
the way
Widow,
that Bug's
yes.
been playing, oh my gosh, the twirl at the perfect time, Star falling dangerously low, grappling away, like their life depends on it, because it definitely did. Uh-oh, everybody's still so low, and they're still committing to that fight. They're just being way too aggressive, and they don't have anybody to stop this payload progress, because now, one team fight loss equals the point going over to Billings Boomers.
Yeah, I think they got one more touch, maybe. I mean,
no chance.
Yeah, I'm surprised they stay on the horse. I can't touch on the horse. Yeah, that's just it.
It's one of those things, like, if the Lucio was the first one to die in that fight, I could have maybe believed maybe a desperation touch could have been there in their cards, but I mean, when you lose, your Lucio so late in that fight and the payload was only like 10, 15 meters away from closing it out, it's going to be really difficult to find a recontest there. And now 4-minute time bank, downpour coming out super early. Yeah, you got time, my man. You don't need to rush it. And luckily he's able to twirl that a spiky block away, the jagged edge, because if he would have found that corner, it might have been enough to help chip them down the rest of the way. And still picks finding their marks. Immortality field forced out here. I'm just going to full charges to get rid of him. Make sure you claim that space as your own.
TP out by Boomers there. Reset.
Yeah, they don't mind this. They have window coming up here, so I mean, again, it's one of those things like they're just leaning onto UG right now because I mean, if he could find another early pick. Oh, got it! There it is! What a hook shot right there to start off the fight. And again, it's a +1. You got window, you got wall. They're gonna make a big commitment on this team fight here, and the May Blizzard is still able to help sustain. Both supports gone on the side of Billings, and that was a costly fight. They used everything, it seemed like, during that fight, and not able to find the win.
Yeah, that was just a great ult there by Platinum. She knew that they were gonna play and bounce between those walls, and she just threw it right in between both walls, and it was just walking both backline for free.
Oh boy, don't perish here. You do not want to fall here. And again, the satellite here, oh gosh, I'm using it super early here, but I'm supposing they can kite that. They don't have a whole lot of space to work with, but they can still kite. Star swapping over to the Cassidy, and now because of that late fall, they're just going to spell go time for 3 on the payload, walk them down to their spawn door, and the Widowmaker Sojourn combo is not going to be enough to help contest that point. Lucio, desperation touch, Kitsune as well, not going to find it, but the downpour to help make sure you guarantee nobody can touch this point, and nobody survives as Billing Boomers walks it down main easily for that 2-0 lead right here, first of 3.
Yeah, and just a great last fight. They just kept that Sim was just fully torqued on the Orisa, and so was trying to get out, but then he got wall through behind him, and then it was just unfortunate after that. These walls by Bakery have been huge. Absolutely
Yeah,
huge.
you saw like that was the fight right there where I think a lot of us, including me and you, were like, "Oh, that's going to be an easy point capture for for Dapper. They're going to walk it in." And all of a sudden, we saw the kill feed start lighting up with blue, and it was just Bakery, Bakery, Bakery. It just really helped out a ton. I think the synergy between the tank and the DPS right now from Billings is what's really making a difference here in this match.
Yeah, I really wish I could go back and see what happened with the Ana and the Tracer. I'm telling you, if my theory is correct, I'm almost certain they got slept. And when the pulse bomb connected, and then Ana just walked over to them, and they both blew. Because there's just no way a Tracer would blink in, not have recall, or not have another blink out, throw a pulse bomb, and then die to it. Because you have like a solid second and a half until it blows up. So there's no way, unless it was like a missed blink on accident.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I try to give the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for certain that you're right. It was just a sleep dart that kind of made you fall too close to the sun and you got blown up. Because I think at the end of the day, like those mistakes, they kind of happen here and there. I mean, it
Yeah.
happens to me more often than not. But
Be cool to see too. I mean, it sucked for the Tracer, but it'd be cool to see by the Ana. Makes you feel good.
yeah,
But
100%. Especially when you get the pulse, you know you're stuck too, and you're just
yeah,
like,
you
oh,
can't do
I'm
anything
stuck.
about it. Yeah.
I'm just gonna dolphin dive onto them and try to blow them up with you. So it's if that was the case, great decision making right there on the support side of things. But Reborn, thank goodness we don't got 20 observers, because then we definitely would have got that instant replay and just had to go take a look ourselves. But the good thing is we got replay codes, so I know I'm about to go back and take a peek.
Yep. Yep. Like I said, if I was Ana and I did do that, that's going straight on my highlight tape right there. It's the first thing people are gonna see.
All right, and the
Suravasa.
next map selection turns out it's going to be Suravasa.
Yeah, I like this pick by. This was by. I'm blanking right now. By Dapper. Sorry, by Dapper. Then I like this pick. You kind of can control the tempo here. I mean, if playing against a hazard there, I mean, if you're gonna try the Zarya comp again, this isn't a bad map for it with the Reaper pick. Curious to see what Boomers will ban here. Been banning tanks both times. They'll do that again. So also could be a good ball map as well. See a lot of ball play in this map. See a lot of high points you can hang from. Curious to see what the bans will be.
I know for a fact. I mean, if they've already banned 2 tanks, it would not surprise me in the slightest if they go for it a third time. I mean, then you can kind of control like which comps you do not ever want to play against.
Yeah.
Mauga is one of those things that it could be in the back of their minds of a good ban, but we'll have to see.
Especially with Reaper.
Yeah,
Not
especially
Reaper
with
days.
Reaper. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cage Blossom is a deadly combo.
Yeah, I'm not as good as you. I'm like hard stuck masters, so I don't see like the
Oh,
super high
don't worry,
level
so am I.
gameplay, but
Oh my, don't worry.
oh, okay, good. Okay, I don't know, man. You seem like the type that's like, oh, I'm hard stuck GM one.
No, not that good, unfortunately.
Yeah. What was crazy is going into that map, into Circuit Royale, the previous map, they both teams are 1-0 going into it. So for I'm sure that the Dapper felt the same way. They had full confidence going into that map, like they were truly going to be able to win, help turn the tide. And for a moment, they looked pretty good. But I think positioning and just overall objective control is going to be what determines the fight win. And you see right here, Billings actually, again, starting off with the tank ban and going with the Orisa.
Yeah, a surprising ban. I mean, maybe it's throwaway banned. I don't see the Orisa wasn't a problem last map. I didn't think. I mean, they kind of just walked over the Orisa, but I mean, with that ban, maybe they're gonna try like a Doomfist or Junker Queen comp. I'm not entirely sure here. Yeah, and Ball I guess is still pretty good when versus ban too. If I'm Dapper here, I'm looking at either DPS or maybe even like, I don't know. I would say maybe a Lucio ban, but
I was
feel
gonna
like
say you're kind of forced. Like if you try to ban a single DPS, I just think it's kind of a throwaway. You want to talk about a throwaway pick? Banning any DPS right here is kind of
so many
wasteful. Yeah, just because how plentiful they are. Versus if you go for a support, you have a lot tighter pool that you can kind of force them and kind of pinpoint, bottleneck them into a certain team comp. So,
and I feel like Kiriko Lucio is so strong on this map specifically. I mean, you see almost every team right. Like if you ban the Lucio, you can kind of eliminate that threat. Maybe they go like Juno Brig or something. A little bit different.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking they're going to ban Kiriko here, but I mean, at the same time, I think they really want to keep the Kiriko. I think Kiriko has been kind of like their saving grace.
Mhm.
But I mean, it does. When these DPS are getting like these early picks, like last map, you saw UG just really put
Yeah.
the Widowmaker on the map with just a lot of early picks in these engagements. They really dictate whether or not your tank is able to just jump in, or if they need to play a little bit slower, a little bit more methodical. So that's where it's going to be super important to have that synergy with obviously with your entire team, but of course like with the main tank and like the hit scan.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I feel like in this map we're gonna get double flex DPS, maybe a Sojourn, maybe Kree, but I just feel like with so many DPS options right now, specifically being flex DPS, like you have Tracer, you have Sombra, you have Genji, you have Reaper right now. I mean, any of those 4 picks are really good in this map, and especially if you're gonna go like Ball or a Dive, Hazard's still open. I mean, I just feel like that's probably going to be the comps. Sojourn and Creed just had such a hard time living against those comps to keep them up that I imagine it's going to be double flex DPS. So I mean, yeah, I really imagine it's probably going to be a Lucio ban here. If I was Dapper, that's what I would be looking to ban right now. Be Lucio.
Yeah, I think looking at all the heroes again, I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think that's the only option.
Sombra.
Oh, Sombra. Okay. That's also an option because now when you're playing, Wrecking Ball, that kind of opens up the table a little bit more, so you can kind of play a little bit more loosely. You don't have to play so conservative when you're playing the Wrecking Ball. So this is not a bad option either. I stand corrected. There was 1 DPS on the entire list that was not a throwaway pick.
Yeah, and I think that basically confirms we're going to see Wrecking Ball this map. One team could go Hazard against it. Basically the same thing as Ball. But, I mean, that's really helpful for the Ball player because now they don't have to worry about the packs being hacked. So they actually can control Megas. Especially on this first point with the one being underneath the bridge inside and the one being outside, like right outside by the arches. Ball likes to control those two. So he likes to go in, slam, get the Mega, go back in again. I think that with that being said, I mean, now you have to worry about the hacks. That's huge. I wonder if we'll see a Ball mirror. I'm very curious to see the DPS. It's probably going to be Genji Tracer, but again, I could see Reaper being picked up again because Ball into Reaper is just not fun. Basically, playing Sombra, you kind of just get chunked down and die. But basically confirms I think we're going to get Kiri Lucio backline mirrors against each other again, and then we'll probably get double flex DPS with Ball or Hazard. But yeah,
that's it. Like I said, there's a lot of like nuances to a lot of these team comps, a lot of the team building aspect side of things. So it's gonna be, this is a do or die situation, unfortunately for Dapper, because I mean they're already down 0-2. They can't lose another game here. And obviously with that first map being a control and being a lot closer, I think they made the right call of going with the control in general. Flashpoint, which is basically the faster version of control. So they're definitely going to have to keep that going if they're going to want to try to find any type of footing in this match here.
Yeah, agreed. And I think a lot of it, I mean, let's start with Flashpoint in this game in general. It's basically all momentum, right? You can snowball these maps very, very hard. And what you don't want to have happen is you don't want it to happen to you. But if you can control this first point right off the rip, get that first pick, and then snowball your ults, I mean, you can capture a point very quickly in this. So you gotta be careful with that. And then a lot of it too is like when it comes down to those last fight territories, are you gonna waste your ults or try to fight for it, get control of it, or do you just let the point go, save your ults for next one? So there's actually a lot more strategy in Flashpoint than I think people give credit for. But it is one definitely mode where you definitely can snowball. And if this does go to a game 4, I imagine we'll probably see push next, and that's another game that's just all momentum based. So if Dapper could get this win, build some momentum, I think that'll do huge for the series.
All right, map number 3 coming straight at you here. Saravasa selected again by Dapper. Billings Boomers on set point here to close out this second round. They want to move up to 2-0 right now, and they can do that here. They're in control of, no pun intended, their Dynasty. But Dynasty themselves also trying to turn the heads of not only these pigeons, but themselves.
And I will say, I hope this is actually a Queen rollout. I think Queen is so strong right now. I think she's like one of the most slept-on characters in the game right now. She just does so much damage, and she actually does very well into Hazard. So if this is a Queen here, I think this will be huge for Boomers.
It's crazy that they've been swapping tanks around left and right, because now look who's coming into tank. Cam, the one who's been rocking the Reaper, who's been doing very consistent DPS work. But
Yep.
now wants to keep playing DPS with the tank of all tanks, JQ here.
Yeah, Hazard's so rough in the Queen too. She just jags you, and yeah, you just really can't do anything to let things out.
Oh boy, you see right there, he's just playing a little patiently. Ooh, and Star getting the first pick of this map.
No shout
Gonna
either.
be with the Genji onto the Tracer. Ugg was kind of a staple on the kill feed last map, so looks like it's go time again, just putting the wall in behind their team and basically forcing them into a pincer maneuver themselves. Not wanted. Unfortunately, you don't have any other choice here. The Wu Yang not going to save you, and Cam said that was cool for one fight, immediately going over to the Zarya. And I would imagine Reaper is going to be following suit here, probably from Ugg, right?
Yeah, unless they want to stay on this Genji Tracer. I mean, Genji kind of serves the same role. You can Genji with the blades and the bubble. I will say Star's been going huge this map. He is single-handedly carrying this first point.
He's got to keep it going. They need that momentum here. And again, I think its DPS have been a big factor as well for both sides of the coin. Both teams really leaning on their DPS in these crucial moments. Reborn basically working on an overload here. Can imagine overclock. I think overclock's gonna be coming out here shortly thereafter, unless you get caught by a secondary fire. Good call from Cam right there. Secondary fire was not expected, and he got chunked down very quickly right there, bubbling the Genji so he can kind of maintain offensive pressure. Everybody's super low, and Cam recognizes that and jumping in with the full charge and be able to take that point right from their grips at 98%. So one team fight win will pretty much dictate whether they get this first point or it's going to stay in Billings Boomer's favor.
I was about to say too, it's about to be last fight territory, and then Reborn got picked. That just shows that, like, little mistakes like that, man. I mean, they had full control, Dapper did, and they just had to wait until Boomers walked in. And they could kill them off wall, off the tank, and kill them. But they still have a chance. They still have Soldier and Ult to open up here against Kitsune. So
Yeah,
Dapper's still in a
bomb.
good lead right here.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, this pulse bomb is going to be super important as well. I mean, if they can get this pulse bomb onto Reborn.
You need to go
pretty
quick
much-
though.
They
Wasting a
got
lot
to
of
go
time.
right now because they're running out of time.
One more fight,
50%
yeah.
and counting. It goes by really quickly. Overclock in action. No connection quite yet. Everybody's playing a little bit more patient. And you see the Kitsune Rush coming out here, accidentally getting stopped short from Elysium's wall. But the downpour coming in as well. Toasty Toast going to pop the blade and able to still get one. Falling dangerously low, and Reborn's able to equalize the fight right now. And you see the fight going neck and neck right now. One fight to determine who gets this first point. A lot of ultimates already committed. I think Cam's going to probably commit the grab as well. Graviton Surge coming out, isolating the Hazard Star as well, popping the blade. Zarya is nice and healthy right now, so not really worrying all about that tiny, teensy, weensy, beansy sword as he takes this first point.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Dapper, they just waited too long to engage. I mean, what they needed to do is they needed to fight, dry fight, force out Kitsune, and then have more at the all-advantage for the last fight, and then try to flip it. They took too long, and then next thing you know, it's 60%, and then you're staggered, and that's just that point. That's why I say this game mode's so momentum-based. You gotta go quick.
Yeah, you gotta be fast, and that's why me and you thought that Lucio was gonna get banned here, because I mean that's, you know, having Lucio on your team is gonna be super important, getting back into the fight very quickly. Silver caught out of position, no more bubble here. Ugg also forced to use recall, and Pichu gets the pick onto their former self in another lifetime. Star going over to the Reaper as well, basically getting put into the bubble of death, and Reborn helping him finally eliminate Cam right there. And there was a lot of damage on the board here. It looks like they're going to go for a reset just to kind of get rid of everybody on the point and get back to their spawn. Is that a new area? That's new. I've never seen that area before.
I don't know. Actually, I've never seen an area either, so I'm gonna be honest. So
I was looking at it again. I was like, oh, there's a cave. I thought you just jumped off the map, but there's actually a cave down there. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but there's the damage of the Wu-Yang.
Oh gosh, already forced to use Suzu super early on here, but it does not matter. A big pick right there against Star. You already said it was a star of the first point, basically being the star of the second point right now. Not trying to get eliminated too early. He's hiding in the hidey hole. He's got a ton of damage on the board. Both DPS ults upcoming for both sides.
I want to see Dapper be aggressive here. Start the fight now.
I would love to see it right now.
Yeah,
just force out
you have a lot of
abilities.
space. Yeah, exactly. At least force ults, and you're close to your ults too.
Oh, big pick on the Wu Yang! And that's where you're talking about. You wanted them to go, and they're definitely pulling the trigger. Pedal to the metal offense right now. 90% and counting. They gotta go, and I don't think they're gonna commit. Yeah, I think they're just gonna save it. Maybe have Tracer touch for a second just to force out some more abilities here. Cam was in a really bad position right here. Not able to touch again. Overclock coming out here. Uh-oh. Sliding back. He smells. Oh, death is on his way, but luckily he's able to get healed up here. Ultimates coming out on both sides, and again, we use so many resources just to kind of keep your Wu Yang alive. Cam was all in his lonesome, on point by himself, not able to survive there. And tied up here 1-1 here in this map 3.
That's great there by Dapper Dynasty. I said a lot of this is just they just gotta go. When you have this hazard, you're playing into this comp. You just gotta kind of get on this Wu Yang and force out abilities and get that kill.
Yeah, I mean, you see in the chat, he's getting upset right now. He got solo ulted, and he said, man, what is going on? Why am I getting focused right here? And not able to get the bubbles, because again, Cam had to go to touch point, so there's no way he's going to be able to survive, and I don't think he's going to survive this time either. Barely, narrowly surviving. And the pulse bomb coming out from UG onto Reborn. I do know about these changes here they made on this map, on this part of the map. Oh my goodness.
Oh, good
Go
wall.
time. Dapper man not surviving for too much longer right there. The Blossom coming out from Star, but not going to find anything. Nothing but full charge bubbles on the side of Cam. They're just going to chunk him down. 1 HP in a dream. That's not a healer. Oh, man. Tried to dash away and looked in the eyes of Reborn. He said, what are you looking at me for, man? I can't heal you.
Yep.
Alright. So finally, starting off the point on the right foot here for Billings. They haven't gotten the first cap on the objective on either of these points here, but now getting on this third one here, we've got Blade from Toasty Toast. I imagine that's going to be the first ult we see. Downpour coming out, no connection. Well, maybe they did find a connection. The back line, they actually did find out to Silvertails, and it does not matter for Toasty Toast because he's going to pop the Blade. He's going to get one. He's looking for more. He's got two. He's hunting them down. But Elisu finding the pick onto Poofa. I don't know, the fight's going back and forth, and it looks like they're going to reset. Yeah, they just completely reset right there. Not going to worry about that and just go back to square one. And now, again, with no Lucio, I don't know if they're going to be able to touch again.
I think they just give and go next. I don't have any ults to fight back with either. They're going to try to touch. It's interesting.
Oh, this is a good call. I prefer this. I think this is great because it helps build your ultimate charge for your team because they need ult charge right now. They have nothing coming up. Even if they don't win this next fight here, they don't have anything for this next point either.
Yeah. I think they're hoping to force out ults here.
Nope. Oh, man.
Those are all.
I'd want a refund on that. I mean, Eve gets the pick here, but I mean, at that point, it's too little too late. You already lost 3 or 4 people, so it must be a swap coming out here from Reborn.
Yeah, I'd like to see
match the Tracer?
pick. Yeah, I would go either Tracer here or I would go like Summer's banned. So yeah, I'd go Tracer here.
All right, set point here for Billings Boomers. They can close it out with a swift 3-0. Dapper on their last foot. They gotta lock in right now. They have no more other chances. Otherwise, they're gonna be losing and falling 1-1 in the series. Bubble early. Star in a real, oh my goodness, a really tough position. Just stood there menacing. Dapper man, he's got ult, just in case if they need it. And the grab coming out. Suzu as well. Elisu getting the picks in the back line. No supports from Billings.
Yeah, that is just a great job by the supports right there. Dapper and Pichu. That should win this first point. That was just a great job by Dapper and Pichu there. That was picture perfect peel right there. Used abilities right. That was about as good as it gets. Now they have Blossom.
Hey, speaking of peeling, we got to go peel for our Tracer right now because they are in a really bad position right now. Okay, they're able to narrowly survive with their life, but Star has Death Blossom coming up. Silvertail's got the Kitsune Rush. We've got Blade again from Toasty. There's just a ton of ultimates all around. I mean, I can imagine we're going to start off early here with the Blade and Kitsune. Maybe bait out a couple crucial ultimates. Oh,
don't even need it. A long range shot perk.
Not my first ability choice, but hey, it's extra damage, free DPS.
They don't have to use any ults here. This is huge. This is absolutely huge.
You see that mark in his territory. Yep. You just want to make sure you know. 70%, and again, no Lucio on the other side either. So I mean, they got the Wu Yang to help splash and kind of go in a little bit, faster, but not to the extent of Lucio. Kitsune guide you, and you already called it. You said use the fights, go in early. Here it is.
They're ready for the touch too. Yep,
Trying to
they're
take
ready
it off
for
angle.
that.
They're not able to touch.
That was a great play by Dapper. You read that touch the whole way. Yeah, if you're Dapper here, you want to just get out and save your ults. It's their spawn base right there.
Oh, wow, he barely got the health back. Lucky he didn't shoot him before he picked it up. No!
Oh, no.
Get back in, Lila, quick! Hurry!
Well, I'm hoping Dapper just got out and they didn't waste any ults in this fight.
Oh, no!
Don't want to see him waste
by Blizzard once again.
Yep. But I will say, Dapper looked a lot better on that point. I mean, they didn't have to use any ults there. It's huge. Now they go in this last point with all their ults.
Yeah, I'm excited. Again, you already said it from the get-go. You said if you're gonna play Hazard, you need to be aggressive. You need to be on top of the fights, and you need to be jumping ahead of the game. You can't wait for fights to happen. It's just like when you're playing, sports in real life. You can't wait for the ball to come to you. You gotta attack. Yep. You gotta go in.
Attack. Yeah, you gotta make plays, and that's what Hazard is. I mean, Hazard's more of a defense than a tank, right? Hazard just. I mean, yeah, he has 600 health, but the damage he does is just unbelievable. I mean, with the shot, knife, or shot, lunge, shot, knife, like, that's a kill on almost all squishies. So it's like, a lot of it is just, you gotta use the advantages to you. And Zarya, when you see those bubbles down, that's when you go. And those last 2 points, even the one they lost, that's what they did a good job doing. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, they don't even care half the time. They see a bubble, and they still just run right through it. They pop it, and they just burn them through it. Because, I mean, the amount of damage that you have, and when you have your DPS capitalizing on that dive as well, add in, like, the Wu Yang splash, is one little extra bit of splash damage. It all adds up very, very quickly.
And I almost the backline for Dapper has had a very good series. I know they're down 2-0, but, like, that grab should have won Boomer in the fight. So, them to survive that was big time.
Sweet. Okay, we didn't miss much. I thought they were gonna keep playing, and
Reborn
sometimes they miss it and they don't notice like somebody's gone until like they finish another team fight. But luckily they're being quick on and pause. See right here.
Great fade by
Flying Reaper.
Yeah, great fade by him.
Oh, jumping in. Pichu falls though, and no peel.
My God, at all.
Oh no, that's a big miss right there. No support on either side. But I was gonna say I think Billings has a little bit more sustain right there with the bubbles added onto their repertoire as they're able to help finally win that first point here. But again, every single point so far that they've taken first, they've won it all. So they're gonna have to do it one more time to close out the series.
You lose all 3 ults there, not when the point is. Oh,
Suzu out early, not too bad.
No recall either for Tracer. Yeah, so I go quick. It's 2 ults forced.
Oh boy. Now another Kitsune rush. Are they going to kite it or are they going to fight it? They're going to kite and they're going to run back. Oh no, and Star must have got a miscommunication right there. Thought he was going to be having his team at his back, going up the stairs, taking the long way around. And then, you know what they say, in case of emergency, take the elevator.
Yeah, they have to reset. This is the last fight right here.
Man, they don't have a Lucio either. Again, it's going to be kind of tough to run in here because I mean, if you look at the scoreboard right now, it blinks much faster than your typical control. So with tail falling kind of low, can't overstay their welcome. And now Lucio on point. This is a +1 in the fight. Pulse bomb coming out here, just desperately looking for that Wu Yang, and Toasty's looking for blood, and he's gonna find it with 2 big picks on the blade. They've already got the picks though.
Oh, no.
Oh man, what a crucial turnaround. I thought that fight was definitely going to go in the favor of Billings, but thank goodness for Reborn to help clutch that up right there. Getting that early pick onto Silvertail, just, again, the supports overstaying their welcome from Billings. That's a crucial mistake. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite him here.
Yeah, they got to build this Zarya all before this map's over. They got to really either be patient, or they got to try to push and build this all as fast as possible. Because Lito's going to get his ult before Zarya does.
Yeah, if they go in aggressive here, and it looks like they're going to choose the aggressive option, because if they do that here, this is going to build ultimate charge for Dapper.
Cam's only at 70.
Yeah, Cam's only at 70. Down 4 coming up here. He's lined him up. He's going to send it out. Not going to find any connection. But a lot of abilities being used out. Ugg's going to fall as well.
Yeah. Gonna die.
Oh no! Fell off the high ground. Elisu falling here, but the fights are still even. Star just trying to survive as long as they can. Not able to survive for too much longer. 80% and counting on the Reaper Blood Death Blossom. Wu Yang about to pop the ult, putting it on to Star, surviving as long as he can.
Yeah,
stuck in the grab.
Yeah.
Genji's gonna do the desperation touch. Barely got it in the nick of time. Death Blossom coming out. No bubbles from Cam. Kitsune needs to guide everybody right now. Death Blossom not gonna find anybody. Pulse Bomb locked and loaded as well. No connection. Back and forth with Toasty, cleaning up the fight. 2 kills 3, looking for 4. Finds the 4th and has the blade just in case, just to close out the rest of the team fight. And it is gonna be all over. Billings Boomers, one fight to rule them all here. And they take it with a clean 3-0 in this round 2 match, taking the win over Dapper Dynasty.
Yeah, that was so close by Dapper. I think the ult was just the Blossom was a little bit of a panic ult there. He saw the Kitsune ult, and I think he felt like he had to try to clutch with it. I almost wonder if he could have TP'd past them, and they did that, and they went behind him. But I mean, that's just what's like a reaction, and I probably done the same thing, so I don't blame him at all. But definitely unfortunate for Dapper. I will say all the maps are pretty close though for the most part. Besides Circuit, I mean, for the most part they're all pretty close maps, and like if you're Dapper, I mean, I wouldn't hang your head too much on it. They were very close maps. It could have gone either way.
I want to say every single map, I mean, despite it being a 3-0, I think it was a very close 3-0. All the matches were, like I said, neck and neck, all went the distance, it seems like. I mean, apart from Circuit Royale, everything almost went to an overtime, one fight decision, you know, one ability, again, that we talked about earlier. One ult decision, one ability decision was basically a way to determine whether they would win or lose some of these fights. And in this case, it became the map. So good stuff for Billings Boomers.
Yeah, and if you're Dapper too, I mean, you're 1-1 now. There's a long season ahead. I think you can watch back this VOD, go back into it and see like what moments maybe things went wrong, what things you can change, any comps maybe you want to try differently. It's a long season, which is a good thing about SPCS. So like a lot of ways to go. Like I don't feel like it was like never not necessarily a close map. So still in good hands.
Of course, still something to look back on. But what we can look at is our MVP for tonight, and it's gonna be Cam.
Yeah, Cam just had a great series. Whether it was DPS, whether it was tank, Cam just had truly a great series all along, the whole series all the way through. And I think that this Billings team is just very strong, and the flexibility that they have, they can put basically any player in any role. It's felt like that's very beneficial for them to play at this high of a level.
Oh yeah, especially like the flexibility from going from DPS and tank is going to be kind of very niche for a lot of tank players. But I mean, for Cam, he makes it look very, very easy throughout this entire set. I mean, he was doing dominating work on the ball, on the Reaper, and of course on the Zarya / JQ for one fight. So either way, I think a lot of people kind of underestimate some of those flex players that they have on their rosters. But tonight obviously made a huge difference in the match.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think Cam had a great series. I think the whole team did. I mean, 1-3-0, it's a team effort and it takes everyone to win. And yeah, I think you could give the MVP to different players. And I just think in this one, Cam kind of had the biggest weight by flexing to 2 different roles.
Yeah, and honestly, it was a toss between him and Toasty, so honestly, it didn't make too much of a difference to me. I think they all did really well. Played very tight niche, so definitely a lot of synergy going on here, and it makes sense why they're up 2-0 in our series, and they're looking to extend that even longer. But again, that's going to wrap it up here tonight. It was a clean 3-0. I know we wanted a little bit more, but it honestly felt like a lot more than that 3-0 that we saw here tonight.
Couldn't agree more.
But let's wrap it up here tonight. Again, Mr. Leapfrog and Gil on the mic once again. Again, shout outs to Layla for taking care of everything despite the little hiccups that we had a little earlier, and Person on the OBS. So thanks again for everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again next time.